Alright, I'm back. Okay. This should make things easier for me. Let's do this.
To either pack up and leave, or die. Well, Poopville was no more. With traffic 100% solved forever, I could move on to more important things, like schools, police stations, water infrastructure, fire stations, and most importantly, somewhere to put all the poo.
Oh boy.
How about, here. Once the poo had been successfully routed into the poo-cano, it was only a matter of time until it filled. Well, a matter of very long time. I spent about another hour on the city, and by then it had filled to about here. Not very high. And that meant it was time to drink. Placing a water pump inside the poo-cano resulted in fresh poo being delivered directly to people's taps, which caused the entire city to either pack up and leave, or die. Well, Poopville was no more. And with that, we move on to attempt 2. Gentlemen, welcome to Peniston. This city went a little better than Poopville. A little. This time, I spent a bit longer learning the basic principles of the game, and examined things that had been changed from City Skylines 1. Things like much larger, really nice looking service buildings, like this coal plant. Ooh, or this landfill. I checked out the new zoning, pedestrian-only streets, the grid tool, and of course, radio announcements telling you what's going on in the city.
The commercial district is booming.
That's cool.
More radio announcements.
So a housing shortage is bad for the people trying to move here, right?
And my personal favorite,
There's a widespread concern over fears that an insidious underground criminal organization has seized control of the area.
Recent crime stats confirm that the crime wave has certainly gripped our region, and it's showing no signs of letting up.
I don't like the sound of that, Glenda.
We'll be back after this.
oh, all of this was great. So, I, flattened.
Okay, first off, does Martin have a thing against cats, or does he actually own a cat? I was getting a drink.
A bit of land, and got to work on the next area. I did a bit of bus stuff, zoned a bunch of housing, built these terrible, awful roads connecting everything, and then people started drinking poo again. Fucking goddamn shit. Attempt 3. Before attempt 3 began, I had a few things to do. Namely, fly all the way to Germany, hang out for a few days, and then get hoisted 50 meters into the air by a crane. Now that we're in position, it was time to begin our fabulous new city. When naming this new city, I tried to think of a name that inspired greatness. A name that made me think. Gentlemen, behold, the grand city of... This time, I wasn't going to keep messing around. This time, I would research the ins and outs of city building, and I would construct a wonderful, perfect, flawless utopian city. So first things first, I did some research.
The Matrix.
And with that research completed, here are my findings. So, we want to build the largest possible city. A city that has an extremely high population, all buying products, driving their car, and most importantly, pooping out their butt. Well, to get to that point, our new city of couldn't just be a huge grid with nothing but apartment buildings. Believe me, I tried. No one moved in. This city needed to be attractive. People had to actually want to move in. And that substantially complicates things. So, why would a citizen want to move here? Well, maybe they've got a good job, or the amenities are nice, the shops sell cool stuff, the city services are reliable, it's safe, there are dudes that be selling that good Zaza, plenty of crack, a nice, pleasant location to gamble away my kids' college fund, hookers on every street corner. The reasons one might want to live in a city are truly endless. So we have to try to accommodate as many as possible. First and foremost, they need somewhere to live. So let's build some roads, zone them for low density residential, and wait. Hooray! Our first citizen, the Pooh Man. If I wanted the Pooh Man to actually stay in this city, I needed to build a few service buildings. A groundwater pump for pumping groundwater. A windmill for milling wind. An industrial sector for people to work at. And then I had to decide on a place to put the Pooh. Yeah, I'll put it here. Once that was all done, I zoned a few more things, and then just sort of sat back and watched my creation do its magic. I even found a dog.
Bar.
And there we go. Our first milestone. Ooh. This milestone unlocked a few new service buildings. I placed down a medical clinic, a cemetery, an elementary school, a landfill. The city of was definitely making me go With the city now growing quite quickly, came even more unlocked. Roundabouts, fire stations, police stations, higher density housing, specialized industry, and before I knew it, had reached 1,000 population. And nighttime.
Cool.
Nighttime in this game looks quite nice. Now, the build I was playing on was quite an early one, which meant it came with a few bugs here and there. My favorite of which being gas stations with, rather powerful lights. So, what next? Well,
honestly, and I'm not really surprised by this. Well, I actually checked it out on Steam, and apparently it's got a lot of mixed... I didn't even bother to look in there, but it wouldn't surprise me if it had something to do with a lot of bugs and stuff because of how Paradox Interactive basically does... How Paradox Interactive basically he distributes games. I mean, it's kind of a well-known history at this point. The beta, the vanilla state of a game from Paradox Interactive can be sort of half done, and then you have to have in a whole bunch of DLC content to basically be able to fully enjoy the game, which is kind of, unfortunately, kind of a lot of the principle that a lot of the AAA developers do now.
now the city had reached 1,000 population, I had to do something truly awful. I had to start thinking.
Oh
You see,
boy.
in the first game, all big cities had one common struggle: traffic. If I wanted the city to be truly huge, I had to get on top of traffic before it became an issue. So of course, I did some more research. Holy shit! Roads. Roads on the surface may seem simple enough. Get them wrong, and disaster will follow. So, how do you not get them wrong? Well, by following a few basic principles of road networks. First being, roadway hierarchy. You probably already have a vague idea of what this means. Obviously, a highway has a pretty different purpose than the road that goes to your house. The hierarchy goes like this: highways, then arterial roads, then collectors, and then local roads. They don't necessarily need different numbers of lanes or higher speed or really anything distinguishing them. The distinction is more about where they are in the network than what they actually look like. Each step down the hierarchy trades off mobility, or how fast you can get from point A to B, with access, or how many things you can put on that road. Local roads have the highest access, but lowest mobility, while highways have the highest mobility with the lowest access.
Nice.
Speaking of highways, hey, there's a highway right there. So, back to the city of... We can see that these basic road principles have already been used. This road here is an arterial road. We've got some collectory looking dudes off to the side here, and all our houses are placed nicely along local roads. Next up, another neighborhood. An arterial road up here, and... wonderful. As our city grew larger, we unlocked even more stuff. This stuff is quite important, since we need to keep our citizens happy so more move in. In order to keep our citizens happy, I had devised a devious plan. Fuck that. With the city sufficiently, lathered in parks, I could add more stuff. An industrial area here, some mixed-use developments over here, a college here, an experimental pedestrian-only street with shops over here, and before I knew it, 5,000 population. At this point in the game, issues start cropping up, like our cash flow is still negative, or there's a little bit of traffic. or there's a giant forest fire bearing down on the city. Yeah, I'm sure all that's fine.
Ironically, that describes California in the summertime. It's fine. It's fine. Thousands of acres burn up. It's fine. Give me a break.
We're going to take the noble path and completely ignore it. You see, in city skylines, road design and layout will only get you so far in fighting traffic. The best way to stop jams is for there to be no cars there in the first place. Gentlemen, it was time to busy ourselves with public transit. At our small scale, we only really have the capacity to add buses. So we'll add some buses. I remember first playing City Skylines 1 and spamming the shit out of buses absolutely everywhere. Doing this resulted in bus lines that look something like this. Now yes, this line does in fact service a lot of people, but if you live here and want to go here, instead of the bus going straight there, it goes here, then around here, and then stops here, and finally arrives here. This system is dumb. It's far better to have a bus that just goes from one point to another in the city, and then stops in between.
Yeah.
With that said, here's my first bus route.
I think that's how most
it takes people
bus
from the
transit
apartments to
works.
the industrial area and back. Simple. Now, of course, the whole point of doing this is to allow people to get around without using their car. The vast majority of people, when given the choice between a bus and a car, all else equal, will almost always choose a car.
Yeah.
This is great if you want your city to look like this.
Oh!
So we need to make the bus a viable alternative. We can do this with
Hold on.
people, when given the choice between a bus and a car, all else equal, will almost always choose a car. This is great if you want your city to look like this.
That's in Beijing. No wonder why there's so many problems over there.
But I don't. So we need to make the bus a viable alternative. We can do this with bus lanes to prioritize bus traffic, or by not providing parking near the destination so they can't drive there. What's more important, however, is that the public transit system has layers to it. Public transit isn't just buses. It's also trams, metro, ferries, trains, and even aircraft. All these systems should mesh together to provide a viable alternative to just getting in your car and driving to your destination. The end result? Well, hopefully, not this. The beginnings of our public transit network laid out came rezoning. If I wanted this city to be the largest the game had ever seen, these single-family homes were no good.
I've been into some of the major cities. I've been to some major cities and wow. Traffic is a nightmare. I'm surprised no one ever goes insane for that. I'm pretty sure they probably do, and that's where the whole incident with the road rage comes in, but not the point.
Good. In their place, I zoned for mixed use, which are just apartment blocks with shops on the bottom. Instead of housing 4 or 5 people, mixed-use developments can house 60 to 80. Of course, I couldn't rezone everything at once, so I just did it gradually. Bulldozing Grandma's house, only every so often.
Wow.
With more population, once again, came more unlocks. This time, we'd unlocked the office space. Why work in a dangerous, hazardous manufacturing job when you can just sit on a computer and slap a keyboard for 8 hours a day? Wait a minute.